Okay, good morning everybody. Just showing you what my garden looks like this morning. That's my asparagus bed, such as it is. Just covered with seeds. This is the garden, the main garden that's behind the house. There's my potato, 2 rows of potatoes and a row of beets. I've never grown beets before. And my experiment with parsnips. And as you can see, there's not any parsnips, just about 5 plants on the whole row. And I planted 2 rows of Better Boy tomatoes. That's one. There's a row of onions and some peppers at the front. And there's a second row of tomatoes. My granddaughter Haley really laid them out straight, didn't she? Then I've got 4 rows of string beans. And let me see, that's 2 rows of cucumbers. And that's a row of some bell peppers and all, and down at the other end some carrots and radishes and beets. And somehow or another I missed planting 4 rows. That's 4 empty rows. I've got 8 rows of speckled butter beans, and then I've got on the outside edge there 2 rows is string beans, and that's string beans over there. So I've got 6 rows of string beans and 8 rows of butter beans in the garden behind the house. See my pear tree in the back there, and my 2 little apple trees. I've actually got little apple buds on my trees this year because I hand pollinated. And but this is the garden behind the house. There's my chicken pens. I got about, I don't know, 30 chickens. I haven't counted them. And see, that's the bunch that were biddies last year. They were born last year, and they're really putting out. I'm getting over a dozen eggs a day. There's my 2 compost piles, because I got to start another one. I need to combine those. And my rabbits. Alright, well, I'm going to turn this off and go to the other garden over at my friend's farm. Okay, I'm over at the other garden spot on my friend's farm. See, there's 2 rows of potatoes and a row of beets. I've really got the beets in this ground. That's really growing. And there's a row of parsnips. Now, as I said, I've never grown parsnips before, but you see them right there? There's just a little patch on about 20 foot of the row here, and down on the other ends about 20 foot of parsnips, but there's nothing in the middle. So my wife I had initially planted 6 rows of string beans over here to split them between the 2 gardens, you know, to have more room, plant more. My wife thinks that the deer's going to eat these up, so that's why I planted more over that house. So I've got 12 rows of string beans. And as you can see, they're really coming up. Well, they're just as pretty as they can be, and just as nice and healthy. We just had a rain, so that's why everything's just shining. Now I've got 2 rows of tomatoes over here. I'll have plenty of tomatoes this year, believe you me. Let's see, this is a row of celebrity tomatoes. I don't know how many plants it is, probably 75. Then I've got 2 rows of okra. If you can see from the sunshine, they're starting to come up really string to rows, so I'll have more okra than I know what to do with. And then a row of squash. And the squash is just running down the road. Just like I say, we usually do so good on squash. We're not planting but 1 row this year. I might plant a row over on those empty spots in the other garden, and there's some hot peppers and some onions here. Another row of tomatoes. This one is Rutger tomato. Then another row of hot peppers. And then this is an empty row. And then on this row here, I planted a half a row of watermelon and a half a row of cantaloupe. So we'll see how that turns out. I haven't had any luck with cantaloupes and watermelons. They usually just die. But you see how the garden looks. It's just as pretty as it can be. I wish it could stay this way, you know. But they all grow up in grass and get full of weeds, and we'll see. There's plenty of nut grass in this little garden, so we'll see. And Donald, as I said, and watch here, my friends are back. You see the deer track right there? See that one right there? They're all over this land here. Look, see the deer tracks. And but I haven't noticed anything mess with yet. Knock on wood and thank the Lord. But I've never done beets myself. But these beets are growing pretty good. And I'm gonna try pickling them this year. We love pickled beets, but this is the first time we've done it ourselves, so we'll try. But that's about all I have. This is some country around here, and I'll just pan around so you can see. And this is my friend's old homestead, and it's just a nice South Carolina rural farmland. I wish this was all mine, because I'd love to plant it and farm it. You know, it's just and if you can see, you see the little corn just stringing the rows out there in the no-till farming, which I don't agree with, but that's the life in South Carolina. I appreciate you watching, everybody. Thank you much. And just a little side note, here's my 2 fig trees, or fig bushes. See, that one's at the end of the house, and the other one's down there at my shed. You see how big they are. That one grows 6 foot a year, and it really grows. And that's my greenhouse and my plants that I've got growing. You know, I didn't grow as much this year as I did last year, so I got a couple rose bushes and some thyme and basil and oregano and some bay trees. There's one. There's another one. I got 2 little ones right there. And there's a little one right there. Those things are really expensive, but I love growing them. 2 pots of mint. One's spearmint, one's peppermint. And here's Here's what's left of the plants I grew this year, and I didn't grow as many this year as I did last year, but still I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 trays that's going to waste. And I've got peppers, habanero, and cayenne, and bell pepper and such as that, you know, that's left over, and all that stuff just gonna waste. Those 3 trays back there, two was cabbage and one was collards, and I forgot to uncover them one day, and it got too hot and killed them. But you need some Marion tomatoes. There's a whole tray of Marion tomatoes I'd give somebody if they wanted them. That's what's left of the Rutgers and all, and that's what I got in the greenhouse. And let's see, this is my potting area. That's where I make, that's homemade potting soil that I've already mixed up. It's homemade compost, pine bark, and some dirt I got from a golf course. So I got some flowers and stuff, and I got some chives, and there's some walking onions, some dill. I love dill, but I can't get a good stand growing. I don't know why, but it just don't want to. And the rosemary, and it grows out here in the yard all year round. See that one right there? It grows all year round, through the winter and all the cold weather and the freezing and stuff, and it don't bother it. And that's a pot of ginger. I should have taken it out and stored it over the winter and then replanted it, but it didn't, and it ruined it all except for that one little section. And that is horseradish, and it grows, you know, it grows back year to year. So I'll probably harvest some of that this year. And I've got some flowers and some plum trees and stuff. If you need some plum bushes, come see me. I got plenty. There's some money plants I got from over at the other farm. It's growing wild over there. Trying to grow some, not magnolia, what is it? Gardenia. I love the old style gardenia. I've been trying to grow it, but it just don't want to grow for some reason for me. Then I've got some comfrey and some more plants. That's about it on the homestead. You know, just trying to make do. And that's my one pomegranate tree. So we'll see how that works out. And that's the pomegranate tree right there. So I thank you for watching.